Alright, so Honda's to Orlando was Sunday and it rained all day. It was cold. There wasn't really much going on. Maybe a third of the cars were there, and since it rained all day, this one here is very dirty. So I'm gonna wash it before I put it away and maybe give it a vacuum. So today, John is actually on a cruise. This is Thanksgiving week. As soon as Bruce gets here, I'm going to weld up some titanium elbows for S2000, the one that goes here. Here's the first one tacked together. Number one, right there. All the rest of these parts here, that tube, there's some more over here. I know they'll be guaranteed. They'll all be blued and then welded.
We're building a turbo kit for this car. I mentioned it in a past video. There's a few different kits we've used over the years, but we're always trying to come up with the best overall kit. Something that does everything with no compromises. Always looking for the best we can possibly do. We're going to be basing it off a G25 660. It's not going to be a high horsepower build. It's not going to be an exhaust out the hood and slicks and skinnies on the front, all that kind of stuff. Once we've put it on the car, we test it, we'll make sure we're happy with it, then it might be something we're going to offer. We're not going to offer it right now because we don't even know if it works. If it don't work, it won't even see the light of day. If it does work, we'll contact a manifold company, which I already have one in mind. I'm going to contact them and see if they'll build manifolds for us. Maybe have someone build the downpipes. We don't want to build production stuff. And then we'll offer it as a kit. But for right now, this is our car. We're going to be using it for the elbow.
There was a red car dropped off. Not this one, but for December. It was dropped off this morning. The guy tried to get me to pay for it, didn't know what was going on. It was a whole big mess. It's already almost 11. I haven't started the video. I've done the store, and I've started pulling this clutch apart. Everything up top is already done, exhaust manifolds out. But we're gonna start pulling the clutch out of this one and get it replaced and get it on the road. Slide off, and over here, got the rear main seal done, got a brand new rear main seal in. Slide, disc, pressure plate, there's the new stuff. Old boot, old bearing, new slide, new boot, new bearings. All right, we're all back together underneath, brand new boot. The other one had a little section missing out of it. Everything pretty much looks the same. Stock S2000 underneath. Got all the parts made for another 5. This one here will count as 6. Got all of our pie cuts, a little extra straight, a hammer, a punch, a piece of aluminum. Alright, so we're in the other shop, still Monday morning. Got everything cleared out because our light's out. That one's not, this one is. And Armand, who is our friend in the middle of the shops, has a forklift, and he's going to get me on the forklift with a pallet and lift me up there so I can change this light out. Alright, light is still out. He brought the forklift over. I stood on it, and I got scared, to be completely honest with you. His forklift is very wobbly, and I didn't know it doesn't have anything to hold on to in the back. I'm sure you guys have seen forklifts before where they have a back to them. So usually you'll have something, you know, about this high on you and you can hold on to it, but his did not. So the light still out.
It sucks so bad I figured I would share it. I just bought George and I a strawberry smoothie on the way back, and someone jerked the car around to make a U-ey, and I swerved to avoid him, and it went all over my seat and all over my truck. This customer is picking this up today. We're going to go ahead and give it a quick wash, just make it look nicer. He did bring it down in a rainstorm, so it's a little dirty. Just makes it look a little nice when he picks it up. This wasn't in the video. He sent us this. This was the cover that he wanted to put on there, so it kind of finishes that off. Looks a little nicer, but you see overall what this looks like. I still think this would benefit from a black valve cover. I think that would finish it off. The whole black theme.
Yeah, that actually, I didn't see that yet. That would be really good.
It doesn't look bad, does it? It almost matches this wrinkle.
Match for that wrinkle.
Yeah, which is good because most of the wrinkle out there is like a really cheesy wrinkle. The one that AB used is really nice, and this matches it pretty close. So let's go ahead and wash this, and when the customer comes around the corner and sees it, he sees the love that we put into our builds, because we truly love this stuff. Take two.
Take two.
We truly love this stuff. CRs are great, but with 400 horsepower, they're even better, especially when there's no compromises. So let me know what you think. We're both looking at this saying that it should be a black valve cover, George says he likes the idea of that being color matched Apex blue, which I think would look really sweet.
But this car got here early. This is an 06 AP2, getting a Science of Speed turbo kit, some coilovers, a custom dual titanium exhaust. Also don't know if the camera's going to pick this up very well, but the front bumper is a different shade to the rest of the car. So we're going to be pulling this off and sending it over to Superior and getting it painted to match the car. I don't know, kind of hard to tell on the camera, but it's definitely a different color.
I just got back from Superior, took the bumper over there. It was a little darker than the red, like George showed. One of the things that Superior do is they want us to give the gas cap. Took that off there. One of the arms are done. Just wanted to show you what goes into these things. So we try to replicate the factory tube. Obviously, this has a taper. I don't know if you've ever noticed this. This goes basically from 3.45 inches down to about 2.8 inches. There's a few elbows that we've seen on the market that people build, and they use just a piece of 3-inch, and you know, the whole thing's the same diameter and it's pie cuts. It looks fancy, but it doesn't have the same diameter here, so you end up having to use some kind of coupler or reducer. The way we do it, we actually make a taper. You see that? We've actually made a fixture so that we can actually build our own tapers, and it replicates the factory size. We actually made this 3-inch, so the coupler will fit over a slightly larger throttle body. If you go with a slightly larger one, the 3-inch coupler will fit. So if I can get my camera to see it, you got 3-inch right there, and then on this end it's actually just under 3.5 right there, so it's the factory size. There is a 3.5-inch coupler that goes on here, and it mates to either the factory filter or the K&N, and of course the 3-inch coupler here fits this, and it fits the throttle body, so it replicates the factory one. Now I'll tell you ahead of time, there's no performance benefits to this at all. This does a really good job. Titanium just looks pretty, gives it that little bit of a fancy, you know, kind of a JDM OEM plus look, however you want to call it. To address a couple of concerns, titanium does a really good job of not heat soaking. It dissipates heat very well. Also, while you're moving, the air going through here is passing through so fast. As George said, I just got back from a cruise. We went for Thanksgiving. This is a Citizen watch that I bought I think 2 years after we got married. I think it cost me $330. I bought it in one of the Caribbean islands. It's a Citizen, it's their titanium series. I don't think it's real titanium, but it just looks nice. It just quit working. We just went on the cruise, I pulled it out of the drawer, and it didn't work. It's the Eco Drive, so usually once you bring it out into the light, the second hand will start working and it'll charge itself up and it'll be happy, but I guess I left it in the drawer for too long. It sat there for 2 years in the drawer and it didn't come back to life, so fingers crossed I can get this fixed. I'm going to go take it to one of the local jewelers. It's a Citizen dealer, and see if they can put a battery in it and get it working again, because it's one of those things that I really like. I don't know, I just like it. I'm not really a big watch guy. Alright, well that sucks. They can't fix it. They said it has a capacitor, which is kind of like a small battery, I guess, and Citizen won't warranty it if somebody else touches it, which this is an old watch. I don't think anybody's going to warranty it. I just took this manifold to one of the metal shops that we deal with that can kind of x-ray it and get an idea of what's going on. It looks really, really corroded, and you can kind of see there it's like eating away so bad, and I was afraid of putting it in the hot tank and then sending it to the CNC and cutting it open. You can almost see it's like eroded. I mean, even on the inside it's pretty bad, and I feel bad trying to work on it and then it not work, or it looks bad, or it cracks, and you know, trying to weld to this stuff. So unfortunately I got to give this customer the bad news and say we can't do this. I hate to take the guy's money for something that we don't feel comfortable doing and know that it's not going to work. But I mean, it's pretty bad. I think this is the worst one we've seen yet. So I do want to say a big thank you to George. I don't know if I say it enough, but thank you for allowing me to go on vacation with my family and not stress. That's kind of that family back and forth environment that we have. If George needs time off, you know, I try to be that, hey, just take it and we'll figure it out if we need it. And I've talked about that on the channel, and that's what makes this such a stress-free environment. It is the coolest job in the world. We get to do what we want and what we enjoy. We make customers happy. Customers email us, hey, thank you so much. We just had a customer we finished a car for a year ago, and he sent us 3 gift cards in the mail to say, thanks guys, I still love the car just the same. And that's one of those things that gives you the biggest joy, to find that you've made somebody so happy doing what you love to do. I know it sounds corny, but it's true. What else was I going to say? It's December time, which means 3 things. It's Christmas coming up, which means bonus time for myself and George and Esther. Yes, I do pay bonuses. Also, we've got to call Tom from corporate and make the contribution to our retirement. Yes, I did open a retirement account for us 3 years ago, and I think it's a good thing. It's something that makes you feel better. It makes you feel like the company is actually taking care of you. My dad just booked a flight. He's going to be here on the 21st, and let me know in the comments if you want me to talk to him on camera. I meant to last time, and it seemed like his trip went by so fast. And every time I would see him, I didn't think to pull the camera out and go, hey dad, how you doing? Let me talk to you on camera. But I'll try and make a point of it if you guys want. Maybe I'll get him to talk about what he thinks about what I do, because he thinks I ruin cars, because he thinks the car should come from the manufacturer and never be touched. Just drive it like a bus. Drive it back and forth to work. If it breaks down, fix it. And my dad is an engineer, or he's a retired engineer, an ASME 9 welder, if anybody knows what that means. So he's coming. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk to him. If you can understand him, I might need to put translation on the screen, or our English people friends, maybe they can, in the comments, actually transcribe what he says, because it's very difficult to understand for you guys. He's from Yorkshire. Yorkshire have a really thick accent. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your car.
That's because it's been worked.
Holy crap, that thing's loud. It's
Feel
louder
like
than our air hammer, and you'll complain when we run that.
I don't feel like it's that loud.
It is. Over
Girls
here.
have different hearing from boys.
Either that or girls just don't have hearing if you don't think that's loud. You see, it's bonded itself together.
I can't.
Girls have different hearing. If they like it, they don't hear that it's loud.
Here, I can't. Oh, if they like it, yeah, that's right.
If they like it, it's not bad.
It is called selective hearing.
It sounds great. I don't hear it.
That's right. It tastes great. It's what I want, so that's where it goes.